Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about the Match trilogy by Condie. The first book is Matched, the second book is Crossed, and the third book is Reached. First off, really quick with the covers. The original covers had a green, blue, red theme, which is like the tablet theme in the books, if you've actually read them, and just I thought that was really cool. And that's all I have to say about the covers. They were really beautiful too. And I liked that there was like a theme with that and these pills in society. So let's kind of get started on how I felt about it. It took me like 3 years to finish this series, maybe like 2.5. Matched I got through really quickly, and I was kind of thinking, okay, yeah, this was good. You know, it kept my interest, but why are there 2 more books? I just don't see the point. And I kind of resolved myself to not finish the other 2. I was like, I think I'm just going to end it here and pretend that was the only book in the series. And then Crossed was on sale. So I bought Crossed like 2 years ago, and it took me a long time to finish, probably like 8 months of just picking it up and putting it back down because it couldn't hold my interest. I didn't like it. And then Reached, I just started in December, so it's taking me like 3 months to finish Reached. And only in the last like week have I really, like from the middle, I got to the middle of the book from December to now, like a week ago, and then it took me like 1 week to finish the second half because it started to really pick up. And I was just kind of desperate for it to be over. Not an over that it was bad sense, because this is probably one of those series that I'm just not sure how to feel. It was very confusing to me because it took me so long to read. I didn't really ever get engrossed in it like I do with a lot of series, but there was something about this one that stuck with me, and I think it's the writing. The plot is just, it's complex and it's different. You can't lump all YA dystopian trilogies into one thing, but they all have very similar elements, and this one was no exception. There's a love triangle. There's a future society that needs to be overthrown. It gets overthrown, then the consequences of that being overthrown. Thrown. Words. That's pretty much the plot formula for that, and this one was not an exception. It was pretty much just like that. I mean, they're all a little different, but that basic premise is the same. But what doesn't make me hate this series, because I don't hate it, I actually kind of enjoyed it, was the writing. I think Condie is just a really good writer. You can tell she has this great love of literature and poetry, and she really throws that into the book and intertwines it with everything that's happening, and it just makes everything feel a little more complex and deep. And I just really enjoyed her writing a lot. I didn't have any issues with it, and I thought she captured the human experience really well. You have these 3 characters. In the first book you start out with Cassia, and you're basically just involved in her story, and then at the end of that book you really are involved with Kai, and then in the second book you want to learn more about Kai, and you get to know those 2 characters. And then in the third book you pull in Xander. And the thing is, you've known all these 3 characters since the beginning, but learning more, like almost having a book focused on each one. Not that Crossed was focused on Kai at all, but I felt like I got to know him and appreciate him better as a character in that one. And then Xander, I was kind of like, okay, yeah, Xander's there, you know, whatever. It's this love triangle thing. But it was not typical. It's probably my favorite love triangle in all of YA, because I felt like it was so real. It was very real to me, and that the decisions that they make regarding each other and society and humanity were very real, and I thought that they were, Condie did a really good job of making them seem like decisions people would actually make, rather than like, this is just a book, you know? And she had this very overarching message to say towards the end, you know, that I thought was very deep of her for something that seems like is out of depth to give this type of storyline. So while I didn't think much of the plot very much, which is usually what draws me to these books, is this plot, like what's happening next, you know, what's this future like? I didn't really get that from this series like I got with something like the beginning of Divergent or the Hunger Games. But I did really I enjoyed the characters, and I enjoyed the writing a lot. I think Amelie Condie's a fantastic writer, and I'm gonna pull up and see what she's written after this series, because I think she's written something. I heard about it a while ago, so I'll have to look into that some more, because I definitely want to read more of her writing. I think she's great. And so overall, 3 out of 5 for this series, just because it didn't hold my interest a whole lot. It took me a long time to get through. But it was good, and it went in a whole different direction than I thought too. I mean, you start with this concept of the being matched in this match banquet, and this is the new society, and it's all about who do we get matched with, and it becomes this like monster of its own. And it like takes on, like, I never would have thought the series would end the way it did. Just plot wise, I was like, what's happening right now? But I really enjoyed it, and so I would recommend reading it if you're looking for some good writing, or if you just like, you know, if you're into the formula of dystopian trilogies. There's tons out there. This is just another one to add to your list. But I personally am going to look into more of what Amelie Condie has written, because I very, very much enjoyed this series. Because I very, very much enjoyed her writing, and I want to look into that a little bit more with a plot that isn't overused. So that's my thoughts on Matched. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and let me know if you've read any other Amelie Condie, because I'm curious about what I should read of hers next, if she has something to read next. I swear to God she does. I haven't looked it up though. I probably should have done that before this video, but whatever. Okay, bye everyone! Happy reading!